Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. It's time once again to look at yet another Power Rangers spin-off show. So for this one, let's take Power Rangers, D&D and Ireland, and have them have the most screwed up child. Mystic Knights of Tirnagog. Mystic Knights was a Power Rangers Sentai spin-off series loosely based off of Irish mythology and was an attempt at making an American tokusatsu without actually using an already existing show. The show centers around 4 warriors that are gifted mystic weapons and armor in order to defend their kingdom from Maeve, the evil sorceress. So basically, think of this show as Irish Power Rangers meets D&D, run by a DM that lets their players get away with everything. So without further ado, let's take a look at the first 2 episodes of the pilot of Mystic Knights. We begin on an unnamed island as a narrator explains how the kingdom of Chaos is under siege, but a tide may change as we go to the druid called Cathabald and his apprentice Rowan, who are discussing a meeting with the king, and we see a spell used to summon a giant skeleton. Oh dear God, it's a live-action Dragon Slayer! Cathabald leaves for the meeting as we meet Rowan's friend Angus, who is known as a thief, and decides to have fun at the expense of their noses as he looks around for a spell ingredient.
A little bit of this. Oh, the smell! Ace, your magic stinks!
And that is how the first stink bombs were invented. The two run into Princess Deidre, who is an example of the I don't need a man, I'm a princess trope, who tells Rowan of their meeting with her father.
How did you get back to your duties and mind those matters that concern you?
You are the one that told him about the meeting! The peace treaty is about a treaty with Maeve and her kingdom ending a 10-year war, but a guard alerts the king of an ambush attack currently going on.
I will rule this entire island.
We stopped you before, we will again.
You have no idea of the powers I now wield.
Beware, Conacher, for the end of your kingdom is near.
It's almost as if it's like American politics. Maeve then summons Medea, demanding more power, not caring about the price, so he gives her a stone that grants her more power, and she uses it to summon a monster. What in the late 90s shitty CGI is this? The monster attacks the town and the guards with Maeve demanding Kale's surrender, but the princess believes they should not do it. The druid then brings up a prophecy that might help everybody out, but the king says it's pointless and plans to just give up. The druid finally gives Rowan the ancient scroll revealing that he might be the chosen one, but the king still wants to give up.
Lead us to victory, not to a surrender. Do you think I want to...
That is literally what you're doing! Rowan convinces the king to let him try, and he wants his friend to go with him. They begin their journey, and Rowan has a dream about a stranger with a dragon and armor before the next morning the two of them come across a man who traps them, and after a small skirmish, he reveals to be Prince Ivar, looking for a stolen chalice. They agree to help each other out as they head to a fairy stone. The princess turns out to have snuck out, and as they all argue, the ground below them collapses, ending part 1. As they land, they find themselves in a cavern and eventually come across a pot of gold, falling for an obvious trap, failing their deck saves. Oh no! A net! My worst enemy! Maeve continues her attack as our four heroes find the king of the little people, but he wants them to prove themselves worthy, giving them tests, including avoiding being crushed by a wall, with Rowan sacrificing himself to save Ivar's life, Angus ignoring another little person to protect his party from stepping on the wrong colored stove. They then are given a glimpse of the future's powers and are given their new weapons. They join the fight and slowly overpower them as they use their powers they didn't know they had, forcing Maeve to retreat. Once they are defeated, the monster they pilot ends with them celebrating. I personally loved the show growing up. Between this and Beetleborgs, they were my second favorite compared to, the original Power Rangers. And a lot of people seem to not remember this franchise. I loved it. Would love to see a new version of it. And I have often thought about reviewing the entire series. So if you think I should dive into the entire run of the show, comment below. Tell me what you think. That being said, the 300th review is right around the corner. And I've got some surprises in store. That being said, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome.